checking in at the ruins of Delphi is a matter of feel. First step, dust for cobwebs. 3 shakes, only any less is insincere, any more and you risk bringing the roof down. Second step, check the sky, the moon is agent eyeball. Silently reviewing my KPIs. Third step, prepare for a lecture. The artistic atmosphere around here is thick, so management is big on ceremony. Sure enough, a divine Olympus group chat, and everyone notification pings across the sky. The sea of clouds amplifies the sound as the god's desk end with a series of Thursday DS, forming a circle around me. Athena, clutching an owl, has pre-exam proctor written all over her face. Hera, adorned in peacock feathers, can demote you from a tenured student to an exchange student with a single GLR. Hephaestus lugs a volcanic forge bellows, the smell of rust stronger than the autumn wind. Hermes drifts free, lie mid-air, striking a pose that screams god of commuting, just in case anyone forgot. And in the center, the C-suite spot, stands the big boss of Cosmic. After sales support, himself, Nair Lathotep, he holds no work order, no support ticket, but the moment he speaks, he shoves a mouthful of legal text and soul-binding clauses down my throat. Comrade, this kid is your student, isn't he? Wrecked a divine realm, shattered a god-forged artifact, and Ru wrote the book of fate. The student Smith's deed is the master's fault. You'll be here for ream, dial work. 3 tasks, finish them, and we'll let him go. I look up at the moon, another giant eye, staring down at humanity's KPs. In my head, I chant, nah, I'd win. Out loud, I'm much more professional. Yes, sir. A narrator's voice cuts in. It's the HR department in my head. When in doubt, agree first. The engineer's first principle. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Task 1. Repair Athena's back garden. Nature is healing. The sacred garden sits halfway up the mountain, the air filled with the bitter fragrance of crushed olive leaves. The scene is a disaster. Trees are toppled, olives are scattered, and their pits are arranged on the ground to form the Greek letter Pi, a clear territorial piercing. By some Chuni, by Okid, I won. Tame names, but ascertain troublemaker with a victory wreath, and a golden staff is either trending on the celestial web or just in a different Universia. Athena is expressionless, her scholarly composure unshakable, but the owl on her arm is radiating visible confusion, its feathers trembling like a loading bar. I clear my throat and assume the air of Amaster of Eastern Metaphysical Engineering. I hold a sprayer in my left hand, the on loan corporate version of a Zakrajitavas. Pat a tree trunk with my right, checking gift and listis to fur. And tap the ground with my toe, pinging servital monline. The field commands must have rhythm. I call out in a reverb-laden voice. O sea breeze, return branch to root. O fruit, return to bough. O earth, be as you were. They untined that the incantation sounds like a kindergarten rhyme. What matters is the performance. The final step is to spiritually tighten the screws. Add a dash of faith. I tell my apprentice, Cronin, to take a deep breath and strike what he thinks is a natural divine power pose. A time-it perfect lie, flicking a spray of water at a 4 or 5 degree angle. Swish, the last mist of water lands on the barest part of the canopy. Nature is healing. Immediately the ground begins to tick, as if someone just switched ed on the subterranean and plumbing. Broken branches snap themselves back into place. The edges of the bark curl inward, like a video playing in reverse, and the wounds seal seamless lie. A few half-eaten olives perform a CTRL plus Z, zipping back onto their stems, their color shifting from accumulating bitten into yellow to Adavine perfect lie ripe green. I pick up a leaf and hold it to the light. The VE ends are clear, and the tree growth rings are faint lie visible on its surface. The technical explanation. I treated reality as a Git repository, performed a quick rollback, and let the wind handle the auto-merge for the conflicts. Athena opens her mouth, her academic critique stuck in her throat. She was about to say something rigorous like, this methodology has not been peer-reviewed and contains undefined variables, but her owl beats her to it, letting out a very unscholarly, who? Hermes can't help but mutter, is this the legendary fix? Tree, while writing your thesis technique, I wave a hand dismissively. Correct. And it, S. Already past review. The anonymous peer reviewer was nature itself. Athena squints. Your method lacks data, traceability, and theoretical derivation. I nod seriously. IL, add it to the appendix. Assume the result is true. She silently signals her owl to stop trembling and swallows her visible confusion. I get it. It's called academic decorum. Zeus prepares to step forward and pontificate on the importance of order and authority. But ye hit his mute button early. That Olympian math you re-talking. It does untent as me if I'm an animal. You should probably clear that. Logic with Hera first. Hera shoots a cold GLR from across the circle, and the temperature drops a few degrees. Right. I am just the contractor here. Better keep my mouth shut. Task 1 complete. System notification. Group psychological stability. Plus 10%. My sandpoints. Still holding. Task 2. Extinguish Hephaestus's divine fire. Crying Wojak vs volcano on the edge of Mount Etna. The air is a thin sheet of glass, baking the heat until it's brittle. Hephaestus stands grim lie at the mouth of his forge. The divine smith's beard is scorched red, like a brush seared by extreme heat. He points to the erupting crimson flame at the heart of the furnace, and says gravely, the wind cannot blow it out, and water cannot quench it. I created this fire, and now even I cannot undo it. I nod, I jit it, like when you code until your hands cramp, and then you can even Understand your own work later. He looks at me worry-lie. Are you? Sure, ... You can put this out. This one's easy. I see with a snap of my fingers. Calling my apprentice Cronan. Cronan peeks out from behind me. His eyes dark and bright. He's clearly the type, with an extremely low emotional activation. Threshold. Idun and pat his shoulder. Kid, your master is old. He probably won't serve another 3 centuries of this 9 to 5 grind. You have my condolences. Cronan says instant lie, turn red. A tear glimmers, and a second later, silently rolls down his cheek. I catch it, flick it with my fingertip, pop, and the teardrop expands mid-air into a black cloud. So heavy it seems to press the sky down, casting a long shadow over the scorched earth. Rain falls in straight lines, extinguishing the tongues of fire one by one. The crimson in the forge shard switches from fury to standby, and the volcano's mouth closes like a giant maw soothed to sleep. Hephaestus is silent for 3 seconds. Double quotes. ... I tuck my hands into my sleeves. Physical cooling, extremely effective. Thanks for your cooperation. He stares at the now dormant fire and finally manages. This ... tear water. Can it be supplied consistently? Emotions are not mass producible, I say, shaking my head sternly, adding a compliance note for good measure. And you can motion ally manipulate your app. Rentis. We adhere to the divine GDP. Our great divine privacy rules. Hephaestus nods thoughtfully and takes out a small notebook to jot down. Emotion collector. Ethical edition. I add a side note for myself. Water from no source equals a causal dissolution fluid from the stone born. The tears are just the trigger. Don't task who the stone born is. Just file it on the birth certificate. Anomaly in the redacted folder. Cronan quietly tugs my sleeve. Master, did I do something amazing again? I ruffled a patch of stone-colored hair on his head. You just be yourself, and the world fixes itself a little in the distance. The sea breeze crests the ridge. Poseidon does Ian Tapir, but a salty gust feels like an odd in arrow. My eyes Dan track about your successes, and Dan cat caught for your failures. The contractor scold. Task 3. Edit the scroll of fate. CHR Dinger's fate. The underworld is my usual workstation. The river Styx below is a long, drawn-out sigh, and the sign at the ferry dock reads, Sole traffic control, in effect. Please enter the river during off-peak hours. A clear indicator of a back door. System for heroes and VIPs. The 3 fates sit by their loom, each fiddling with a restless tangle of thread. Today's thread is especially difficult to manage. It snaps, it knots, it vanishes, as if someone applied a pixelation filter to it. When Cronan Drunken Lie stumbled in here to change fate, he probably didn't realize this thing was like CSS. Change one line, and you can break the styling for the entire site. From my sleeve I produce a government-issued Underworld Special Mosaic Correction Fluid. The label reads, Observation Immune, Experimental. Subtitle, Shake with Caution. You call this a fix? Clotho the eldest asks skeptically. It's an engineering solution. I Salem, need I make? The standard gesture of the Eastern Eye, shielding arts. This scroll is now officially in a state of Shirk-Dinger scat. As long as you don't look, it's correct. The moment you look, it collapses into an error state. My recommendation, whoever looks is cursed with bad luck. Hades peeks out from behind Appler. So this is reverse bureaucracy. It's an observer avoidance protocol, I say, slapping aired warning label on the scroll's edge. Do not open, or fate will reset. I continue. Observation equals modification. Modification equals contamination. Then, observation is best practice. We VA also set up CI/CD. Auto deploys at night. No rollbacks during the day. The 3 fates look at each other. None of them want to be the one to unbox it. I close the loop for them. If you need to check the status of a fate, please submit a ticket. Response. SLA. Within 3 lifetimes. Purse phone walks by with a plate of pomegranates and raises an eyebrow at the scene. New procedure. New civilization, I reply. She hums. Tucks half a pomegranate into my arms and whispers in my ear. Hades is going to ask you for the documentation later. I reply, already uploaded. File name. Readme _final_final_ v3. For real this time. Closing parenthesis. .docx. Job stamp ed. And done. The air in the underworld returns to its gloomy standard, and the footsteps of the dead find their rhythm. Again, you watch as the threads of the loom suddenly align themselves. The thin pixelation filter is still there, but it's soft. And now, like a prophecy screen for the world, everyone knows it as THERE, but no one can see it too clearly. Wrap up. Taking the little stone boy back to Delphi to chill. With the trifecta of tasks complete, the system pushes a notification. Message from Olympus group chat has been retracted. Near. Latotep appears silently behind me, like a customer satisfaction follow-up call. Comrade, excellent work. Keep it up. I look up. Keep what up? He tilts his formless face. Keep up that state. Where you Dantone? What you were doing? But you always get it right. I nod seriously. ISNT, that just called being an engineer. He gives a faint smile and disperses into the air. I know this customer service rep does NT actually want anything fixed. He just enjoys watching order and chaos intertwine like vines. Occasionally SP rooting some unnamed flower. Back at Delphi, I hang a sign on the door of the ruins. Day, tree fate and mood repair. Night, stargazing, sea gazing, and KPI gazing. Motto, the Lulu is the Solulu, featuring girl math for rationalizing expenses, boy math for exaggerating achievements, cultist math for pricing exchanges with the cosmos, and Olympian math for deflecting divine blame. Cronan is carving something on the threshold. He asks me earnestly, Master, did we really win? I pat his little stone head. No. We just pushed the bug to the next release. ULL think we won, and that's good enough. An FA key is posted by the door. Q. How often do you think about ELGA? A. About as often as you think about the Roman Empire. Q. Is your fate fixing reliable? A. It is if you don't look. Q. Why did your apprentice cry rain? A. Emotion outsourcing, tears as a service. SAS. Annual plan is a better deal. The night wind makes the sign rattle faint lie. The moon, a giant editor, gives my work a major revision from its perch in the clouds. A shrug. Fine. It's just another iteration. Next time, I'll just have to write my bullshit a little more rigorously. Bonus scene. The extended cut Athena. Your methods are very ANTI academic. Me. No, it's interdisciplinary fusion of bullshit studies and usability engineering. Ow. Who? Meaning, it's nonsense, but it works. Hephaestus, can you provide a hastable supply of tears? Me. Emotions can't be mass-produced, but they can be treated with kindness and guidance. Hephaestus, scribbling, kindness, ... equals ... Greater productivity. Me muttering, that's an OKR. Don't turn it into a KPI. The fates, but sure lie. Someone has to look at it eventually. Me. Whoever looks, takes the blame. It's called closing the accountability loop. Hades, peeking out. In that case, I won't look. Me. Giving a thumbs up. Brilliant leadership. Zeus just about to start his summary speech. Me. Holding up a hand. That S Olympian math. You. The root of the problem. Era. Screenshot saved. Zeus has left the chat. Hermes. How often do you think about your lie? Me. As often as you think about how to slack off today. Hermes. Tracing a free fall trajectory in the clouds. Slacking off is my religion. Final scene. Cronin and I are sitting side by side on the steps. The clouds on the horizon look like a wiped, clean slate, and stars are being lit one by one. The night at Delphi is thin, so thin you can hear the world turning over on its other side. It's not a terrifying omen, just the start of the next iteration.